If you ever quit a hard training session or made a hard training session easier, there's a good chance you're not getting the results you want. And I want to help you change that. Most people say you just have to train more to get more mentally tough, but it helps, but what I've found through my training and just my experiences is that you have to change the way you think about hard things, how you see them. And that's what I want to show you, because you can start doing this today to start working towards the results you actually want. Now, for context, I'm about to do my longest run ever. It's gonna be a 14-mile run. So it's gonna be somewhat difficult since, it's the longest run I've ever done. But also, this past week, Wednesday, so 3 days ago, I did a 5K time trial, and it was hard. I ran my fastest 5K ever in training alone, and obviously it was hard, and it required grit, a lot of it. That's just two examples of what I'm doing today and what I did earlier this week. That is the evidence that I'm going to be using to show you guys how you can start making sure you're actually achieving the results you want to get. So this is my first time running on this trail. I saw this wooded area with all these trails, and what was that? Yesterday I went on a walk and saw this, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna run that tomorrow when I'm on my 14-mile run. And I'm glad I did, because it's very hilly, and I knew the trails were gonna be, dirt, but they're not even. Some of the trails got rocks on it, and makes the run harder, which is perfect for this video, because my legs are already a little sore from the 5K time trial I did on Wednesday a few days ago. So the hills and the uneven trails, is perfect for building strong legs and building that mental toughness. And again, I know I'm just talking about the actual physical training I'm doing right now that helps with mental toughness, but for sure after the run, I'm going to be talking about, the actual thinking that I do, how I view hard things, and how that plays into me being more mentally tough, and actually putting in the work and getting the results that I'm chasing, because I want that for you guys. I want that for you. So I'll share that later in that video for sure after this run, which 2.5 miles in, got a little bit of a way to go. Alrighty, I just got back from the run. 14 miles in the books. It was a good run, a hard run for sure, which I knew it was gonna be that way, just because legs were sore already, and it's the farthest distance I've ever run. Before this, the farthest distance was 13.1 miles, a half marathon. But so only 0.9 of a mile more, but it was a really good run. The first half of the run, the first 7 miles, I did on those trails, the dirt trails, which is where I started my run. It was uneven ground, very hilly. That last clip that you guys would have seen was very steep. Should I have walked it? No, I don't think I should have. And I didn't, because my legs are going to be stronger because of it, and it made my legs very sore, yes, halfway through the run. But the fact that I then did the last 7 miles with those sore legs, obviously before the run they were already sore. After those hills and that big one right at the end of that first half of the run, because of that, because I kept running, my legs are going to be stronger than they would have been if I just walked up that steep hill. And I guess the whole point of this run was just, I knew it was going to suck before it started. It sucked a lot during the run. There's a lot of times where my legs just felt super heavy, especially in the second half of the run, back on paved sidewalks, brick sidewalks. It wasn't enjoyable during the run, most of it, because the legs were so heavy and sore and they hurt. They did. But that's where grit comes in, and I've trained myself to be mentally tough and have grit. Yes, from just doing a lot of training, always running the hills, not walking up hills, and not being afraid to do my fast workouts on hilly routes, like I did my 5K run earlier this week. Was gonna do it on the track because it's flat, it's consistent, and then I said, why would I do that when I can just run the 5K time trial on the normal sidewalks that I run, that yes are hilly, but it makes your legs stronger. I mean, I reached my time goal of a sub 20-minute 5K while running on hilly, uneven sidewalks, and it just goes to show like that putting in the work does work. And I will say though that, like I said at the start, it's not just the fact that you put in the work and then the work pays off. Yes, that's a big part of it, but then there's also the mental shift, the way you frame hard things in life, especially your training. It really affects how you treat it when you're in the moment, when you're in the middle of the hard thing. It makes a difference, and I'm going to talk more about that after I clean up. But for you guys, be right now. Alrighty, for the actual mental shift or reframing or just different way of thinking about your training and your goals that I've been talking about, that you need to have the mental toughness to achieve the results you want, there's two things. The first thing being is you just have to accept that hard things are necessary to achieve your goals. If you want to go run your first marathon, well, guess what? If you've only ever ran 5 miles as your longest distance, it's going to be pretty close to impossible. Nothing's impossible, but pretty close to impossible to then go run your first marathon. And even if you've ran a marathon before, if you want to run a faster marathon, if you have a specific time goal and it's faster than what you ran the last time, well, guess what? You gotta put in the work to be able to run the paces required for that specific marathon time. And you just have to, again, accept that hard things are necessary in anything in life, but especially fitness and running. And then the second reframing and different way of thinking is you have to believe you need to do the hard things. You have to believe you have to do the training. Like for me, yeah, most days when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to go for a run and I don't feel like it, but then I'm thinking I need to get this work done or I won't reach my goal. You have to believe you need the result. I need to run my first marathon. And yes, I'm setting a time goal for my first marathon. And that time goal, I need to accomplish that time goal. And for something that I've done before, a few months ago when I ran a sub 140 half marathon, I needed to run that goal. I needed to run that time at that distance. There's no question. I guess in the moment it seems like I feel like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't accomplish that goal. And yeah, that can seem kind of, oh, that doesn't seem very healthy. But the way I see it is just accomplish the goal, then put in the work, then, that's how I see it. Like, because I believe I need the result. And in turn, I need to put in the work, even if I don't feel like it. And even if, like, how I was saying earlier, if I wake up and I don't feel like doing the run, if I, for some reason, don't have time to do my morning run, well, guess what? I will do it in the afternoon. I've had this happen before where, oh, maybe I slept through my alarm for some reason. Maybe the night before I couldn't fall asleep. And then I have to rush to classes and I don't have time in the morning to do the run. Well, guess what? I need to do the training run that I said I was going to do that day. So I do it in the afternoon because I need to do the training run and I need the result. So those are the two things the two mental shifts that you need to make, the two different ways you need to start thinking about hard things. Again, one, hard things are necessary. You have to accept that in order for you to get your results. And then two, you have to believe you need the result. And that way, you believe you need to do the training. You need to believe you need to do the work. Those are the two things that I've done mentally, and just the way I think. Those are the two things I've done that helps me get the results that I'm chasing, that I'm working towards. And you can as well if you just make those two changes. With all that out of the way, I just want to say that again, still working with First Form, and I love their fitness and lifestyle apparel. So if you want to check out the stuff that I use, links are in the description. And then I'm also chasing a goal for YouTube. I want to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of July, which is when I leave Germany and return back to America. And I want to have 1,000 subscribers by then. So if you've made it this far in the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd go down and hit the subscribe button as well. And that way you won't miss any of my next videos. And if you missed my video about my 5K time trial that I mentioned in this video, then you can click that video right here so you can really see the work that I had to put in on that time trial day in that training run. But thank you all for making it this far. Peace.